from the bottom of the barrel, New York down to the Thames. See, I got on the apparel, championhood check, Yankee for the check. Done so much for rap, they wanna thank me in the rap. Kept boom bap alive. I hustled in the ghetto with goons that survive, real fathers that provide. Break barriers, trying to reach farther than the skies. I thought there was the limit, keep harboring the lies. Yeah, keep harboring the lies, yo. And why they go to extremes, they keeping the knowledge from us, institutionalize and keep pushing college on us. They only teach you what they want you to know, then they hit you with a diploma like some honor bestow. We misguided, the truth to the rich hided, the war between upper and middle class then ignited. The cipher is a circle, and my cipher is six-sided, a hexagon. They all impressed by my lexicon. Yo.
What's really hood, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandada, a.k.a. Chef, a.k.a. the king of the Impact Zone. I'm here to talk about James, Mother, and Storm. Going to be going to All Elite Wrestling, AEW. Excuse me, it's been a long morning already, and it's only 10:27. But, listen, AEW is about to get one hell of a wrestler. I'm not trying to do breaking news. I'm not saying, he can't go to NXT. I just don't see why he would go to NXT. You know what I mean? Like, and then anything else. Does he go to MLW, which I'm a huge fan of? I doubt it. Ring of Honor, I don't think it makes sense for him to go to Ring of Honor at all. AEW, he has great relationships with some of the people over there. He's super cool with Billy Gunn. You can easily transition him into the Gun Club, turn it into Guns and Beer, like Guns N' Roses, or a beer club, whatever you're going to do. Faction them out. You got the two young guns sitting over there. What James Storm brings to your locker room, though, that's a veteran presence and no-nonsense guy. And I can tell you that I know James Storm. If y'all sit there and be like, here goes one of these podcast dudes thinking they know somebody. Add him. Add James Storm. Yo, who's this chef guy saying he knows you? And he going to tell you he knows me. And the reason I'm actually wearing this shirt, because I'll insert the picture as soon as I'm done with that. James Storm will always be one of my Heel Team Unlimited members for life. That's La Familia there. That's my dude. So I had to come on here and talk this. I told my guys, yo, if anyone's going to talk James Storm, it's got to be me. I fuck with James Storm. I've been in the Impact Zone since I think like 2014, 2000, maybe probably a little before that too. I don't remember. I moved out here, so whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the coolest people I ever met in the industry. And I know I sidetracked and I got lost off topic real quick because I was talking this shit because, like I said, I know a lot of people say, oh, this guy says he's the homie, this guy says he's the homie. Like I said, Adam, James Storm will tell you, yeah, I fuck with Steph. That's my dude. But yeah, no, with AEW, I just think it's a perfect fit. You know what I'm saying? And if they're smart, they start throwing some titles on AEW Dark. If they did, I'd quickly throw the tag team titles on James Storm and Billy Gunn. Let them bring up the value for those titles. I'd have the Gun Club with all those guys and James Storm start building up Dark like that. Make them like the big faction versus Dark Order. I know Dark Order is real heavy on AEW Dark. It should be AEW Dark Order at this point. But and let me throw this out there. Negative Uno. Everybody caught you looking at Ty Conti, little homeboy. You got to do it a little more slick. Hit that eye corner. Look at the body, but hit the eye corner, player. Don't get caught out there. That's a crazy look. I thought that was hilarious. I just had to throw that out there. But the transition into his farewell. If you're a TNA fan who've been watching TNA for mad years like myself, this is kind of actually tough, even though I'm super proud of him and I love the fact he's going to a big platform. TNA... He is Mr. TNA to me. James Storm is Mr. TNA. James Storm to me is Mr. Impact Wrestling. What he meant for that locker room, what he meant for that brand, James Storm was just special. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they utilize him to the best of his abilities. And I know what you people are going to say. He's like a 14-time tag team champion or some crazy shit. And a one-time heavyweight champion, but it was a short run. I thought they should have done more with him. James Storm could talk. James Storm has a bully mentality. We've seen that with the Revolution. He's done a lot, and I think they definitely should have marketed him a whole lot better. But they gave, and I'm not saying on Rebellion that James Storm should be the main event because you have Omega Swan. I'm not going into that. If you do fuck with the podcast, y'all know how I feel about that. I would have at least had that co-main event. Or I would have said we have 2 main events. James Storm versus Eric Young. Farewell match, 1000th match in Impact Wrestling and TNA. And I would have did it that way. But we're talking Anthem. Anthem don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not a fan of the product because it's just been real bad. And I know you Impact fans are going to be like, oh, here goes Chef just talking shit. I don't like bullshit. And if it was good, I say it. If it was whack, I'd say it. It's just the way I've always been. Not a fan of it. I just felt Anthem gave a shitty send-off when they left the Impact Zone and went to Canada. And James Storm lost to that guy, Dan something. I just got a fucking brain fart. But, and remember when he pinned him and the guys from American Top Team, and that was the send-off to James Storm leaving Impact Wrestling. You're like, what the fuck was that? That's Anthem. I don't know. At this point, we'll talk something, later on today. I got to do a bunch of shows today with the guys. But this was just more for me to say thank you to James Storm. Honestly, going into the Impact Zone, being the new guy there, and I do call myself the king of the Impact Zone because if you didn't know me from the Impact Zone, you was not in the Impact Zone for the mad years I was there. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not acting like I'm the shit. I just knew everybody and I walked around like if I ran that shit, and it wasn't because I was an egotistical monster or nothing like that. I just made it my home. I knew all the staff. I knew all the people. I knew all the ring crew. I got cool with everybody, so I got comfortable. And James Storm was one of the talents that I got to know. And you want to talk about a guy who was aces all the time, who was a no-nonsense guy, kept shit 100 all the time. That was the homie James Storm. So when we used to go there with the signs and everything, and this is me to James Storm once again. We used to go there with the signs and James Storm shirts and everything, man. We loved James Storm. My wife, my kids, it was such a special thing. For that, and I'll quit that. I'm going to quit this where it is. James Storm, you already know what it is, baby. I just want to say thank you for everything. You are Mr. TNA. You always will be. You a king, and when I call you a king, you know I don't say that shit lightly. Salute, my brother. God bless, and I can't wait to see you on AEW, and I'm calling it AEW. Deuces.